with defensive backs coach Travares Tillman. We'll open it right for questions for Coach Tillman. Kelly? Oh, you guys deferring to Kelly, wasn't it?
I was just curious, kind of, you have obviously LaMile's back and KJ, and I'm just curious kind of how you view like how CP Lee and Jaylon King kind of fit into that equation. Seems like you may have like 3 starters at that safety spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have 3 guys that can go out and perform at a high level. So we're lucky in that aspect. They have mutual respect for each other, so whoever's out there playing the best is going to get on the field, and there's like no questions about it. So I really enjoy that about my room. They know whoever's playing well is going to get the burn on the field.
Chad?
Just some insight into the nickel position, some guys fighting for the 1 and 2 spots there.
Oh, yeah, we got obviously KJ's there, and then we have Omar Daniels, who's here now. So they're both playing well. There's no edge right now. I don't know who's going to be that guy, but like I say, they're both playing at a high level right now, and that's always a good thing when you got options. So again, the camp's not over, so decisions aren't done yet, and we're just going to continue to evaluate.
Rob?
Do you have a timetable for deciding on who's going to be what and where, that type of thing?
Not really a timetable, but I think this next scrimmage will tell me a lot, So, but not really a timetable because, like I say, everybody gets better each and every day. So, it's always a work in progress. And I never put an end to something because you can always keep preparing, until the end. You never know how someone's going to jump out, that even on that last day. So, it's still open for everyone.
Jackson?
What has the return of Jaylon King from injury meant to the defensive back room as a whole?
Oh my God, he's having a great camp right now, man. He's respected in that room, and he doesn't even have to say much. He can just go out and practice the way he is, and it says a lot. I'm going to dance to that kid's wedding whenever he gets married, man, because that's just the type of player he is, man. He's always working. I mean, he takes every day so serious, man, and it's just a good example for those younger guys in that room, to learn from him.
Kelly?
At corner, obviously, it seemed like Spider was a little banged up in the spring, but just kind of what are you seeing there? It seems like that's kind of an open competition right now for the 2 spots.
Very open, just like every other position back there. Again, sometimes injuries happen. You have to kind of wait things out to kind of see. You don't want to count someone out just because they're down for a minute. So that competition will continue throughout camp and probably into game week. Who knows? So I'm going to continue to evaluate those guys, and when it's time to suit up, for that first game, the best corner will be out there.
Rob?
You return a couple of sophomores that got their first playing experience last year in Powley and Shelley. Got some valuable playing time last year. How's their progress been?
It's been great. Obviously, CP is still working his way back a little bit, and Rodney Shelley he's actually moved out to the outside a little bit, so trying to give us a little more depth out there. But he's doing a really good job, man. He's an athletic kid, learns well, and loves football, which is probably the most important things. And he's continually getting better each and every practice.
Anything else? Kelly?
We've heard a lot about Amari and kind of him, I guess maybe growing up. Is that kind of what you've seen from him?
He's matured a lot. He had a great offseason. Great offseason. He worked his butt off in the weight room, conditioning, man. I think he's faster than he was last year, which is great. I mean, you really don't really see that, someone getting faster when they get into college. But I think he's gotten much faster, and he's been a pleasant surprise and really consistent is what you're looking for. He's been consistent out there, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the way he has progressed and matured, at this level.
Anything else? Rob?
You have about 3 freshmen that, when you look at them out there, they look like they're really athletic type kids. What kind of pace do you have them on, knowing that you have all these veterans playing in front of them?
Again, best players are going to play. I don't care if you're first year, fifth year. So, but they are out there. They're learning to be college football players, and then eventually learn to be like pros. So there's still some maturation that they have to accomplish, and then we'll see where they are at the end of this thing.
Go.
I was just kind of curious about Ken and Kenyatta, kind of where they are in that corner thing, and what those guys need to kind of cement themselves a spot.
I mean, again, consistency is what it is. Again, I'm looking for consistent guys that can get a call and play the correct call, play the correct technique, and be productive at that position. And that's about it. I don't ask much. I just ask you to be consistent. So that's about it.
Okay. We're all ready? Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Jaylon King. Kelly?
Jay, we talked in the spring. You came back and made the decision, and it seems like you're starting to get back to maybe where you were a year ago. How are you feeling, just in terms of your comfort in the defense and your progression in camp?
I feel a lot better, first off, and my progression from spring ball to camp has been a tremendous leap. Starting for myself, like you said, movement patterns are kind of getting back to normal now. Able to actually plant and cut off my leg now, so I'm just happy about that. Just happy to be able to move around and not have to sit out too many reps like I did in the spring.
Rod?
You have some pretty good options in the back end now with you back and LaMiles and some of the others back there. What has the competition been like back there?
Competition's high. Go in every day, competing against each other, but at the same time, we're also helping each other. We're able to see each other's weaknesses and strengths. Whenever we see one of each other's weaknesses, we try and help them, give them tips to make it a strength as well, because if someone goes down, we can't have a drop-off. So that's why it's good to have competition, because we're all trying to achieve the same goal, which is to win. So if someone goes down as a drop-off, that's detrimental to the defense, that's detrimental to the team as a whole. So competition is good.
Jackson?
Are you cross-training to play at any other positions, or are you just sticking at safety for right now?
Strictly safety right now. Just trying to get back in that movement pattern, being able to roll down into the box, tied to the post, things of that nature. Getting back into my man-to-man field, being able to cover.
Chad?
With the experience you all have back, the depth, the talent, I mean, you all have to feel like you could be one of the better units in the conference, right?
Yes, we talk about that every day, not just being one of the best units in the conference, but being one of the best units in the country. We try and go out there and practice like that every day. We try and go in there with that mindset, because if you're not going out there trying to be the best, then I'll go out there anyway.
Kelly?
What's it like being out there now with like guys like Nico or Justin that are so much younger than you? Is it a little odd being like the old guy in the room now? I mean, you've had a little bit of experience with that now, but just is it a little weird seeing those young freshmen running around?
Not too weird. Our freshmen are typically quiet, so it's typically the old guys in the room. They just sit back and pretty much absorb all the knowledge that we talk about. When they do have questions, they ask them, but pretty much just sitting back there being sponges and just doing as we say, and then just following our lead for the most part.
Rod?
Playing in front of you, there's some competition where coach is looking for some consistency at cornerback. You have Miles, the veteran back, but there's some other guys that have a shot at, maybe playing behind him or on the opposite side. What are you seeing there?
I feel like there's great competition at our cornerback position between Miles, Kenyatta, Omar, Rodney, Amari. Great competition. Coach Till does a great job of rotating them in, getting looks at a field boundary against different receivers. So, I mean, there's nothing set in stone right now. All of them are performing well right now, so we'll see in the upcoming weeks.
Anything else for Jaylon? Kelly?
Were you able to share some with these kids what the camps used to be like when you first got here, and how similar or dissimilar is it to maybe your freshman year?
This one is most similar to my freshman year. Besides, we practiced in the afternoon my freshman year around the same time, so it was kind of a shock going back to that. But campus, a long day. That was the biggest shock for them that we tried to prepare them for. That you hear all day from sunrise to sunset. And I think after probably like the third day, they figured out what I was talking about and were like, dang, really ain't got nothing to do except for being here and just do football all day.
Anything else? Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with KJ Wallace. Open right up for questions for KJ. Go ahead.
You got a lot of experience last year, got a chance to really play a ton for the first time in your college career. Just how much have you been able to build on that, and how much has that helped you kind of prepare yourself through the spring and now into camp?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like for me, obviously, it's going to be a physical game with AJ and his staff has come in, has helped us tremendously. I think for me, my biggest progress has been mentally, as far as like understanding the game, understanding where I fit into the scheme better, and also just kind of understanding how my play can affect others on the field as well. So I think my biggest gains have been mental, but that's not to say I haven't made any physical gains as well.
Rod.
You have some experience back there, guys that have played together. How is the chemistry and how is the communication with that unit?
It's real good, and it's not even just. I think that's come from us being close off the field as well. So on the field, the communication is just kind of like second nature. So we're back there, we're talking, we're having a good time. We're talking pre-snap, alerting things, kind of seeing the play before it happens. So I would say our communication right now is very good. It can always be better. You're never perfect, but I would say our communication level is very high right now.
Chad.
You guys as a unit, pretty good last year, but where can you be better going into this season as a whole?
That's a good question. I kind of, it's football, right? It's an art, so you kind of got to work on it continuously. And I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist in any degree or anything like that, but you always want to like encompass to work on everything. And I feel like right now we're just really trying to like solidify what like our identity as a back end. And I think we've been having some very good practices. I think right now we just kind of need to just keep putting it together, really. I don't think there's any one specific thing that we need to work on, but just kind of just continuing to gel together as a back end and just being better each day.
You get a chance to see a lot of speedy guys with Malik and Christian and those guys. Just kind of what have you seen from the new slots and then guys like Malik coming back? Just what's that competition like on a daily basis?
I love it. I mean, if you ask anybody on the team, on the field we compete, and then off the field we're boys. You know what I'm saying? So I really love the competition that I see every day in practice because, I mean, to be honest, I'm not too sure how many other guys are faster than Malik in the slot in the ACC or just across the country. So he's getting me better, I'm getting him better, and it forces me and other guys that play in the slot in the back end to kind of have their stuff about them and really study and understand like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you line up against those guys not knowing what you're doing, you're gonna get exposed. So we just making each other better. You know what I'm saying? Like iron sharper iron. So.
Rod.
How much easier has camp been for you, having played for Coach Tillman last year and knowing what he's looking for and knowing what he wants from you?
That's a good question. I would say easier in a sense that there's a trust level there between me and Coach Till. I definitely understand his coaching a little bit better, and obviously being here almost a year and a half now, almost closing in on 2 years. The relationship's been building, you know what I'm saying, since then. So I wouldn't even really say it was hard to begin with. I mean, Coach Till does a real good job at coaching. But I guess you can kind of say that we've just been kind of going through it, since camp. There's hard parts and there's also easier parts, so it's just camp.
Jackson or Chad, got anything? Kelly?
Can you tell me a little bit about Omar? He's a new guy and obviously gets to play with you, and just kind of what you're seeing from his development.
Yeah, Omar, real good dude off the field, first and foremost. His play on the field is very, I probably would say very similar to, obviously we played nickel, so we kind of have to be similar in our playing style. But he's very physical. He likes to cause turnovers, and he kind of has a knack for the ball. So I would say Omar's a real good player. I mean, I'm definitely been excited that he's come here and been able to contribute, so.
Rod?
With all the veterans back, you don't hear very much talk about the three freshmen. Have you had a chance to watch them or get an idea of what kind of talent they have?
Yeah, they're getting better every day. So we got Nico, AJ, and then Steven, right? So they're getting better every day. Like I said, it's their first camp, so everything's new to them, right? So it's kind of funny being a fifth year now and like seeing some of the struggles they go through, and being able to relate and help them out when they come to me and ask for me for things, right? If you need to point stuff out to them, be like, look, you want to avoid this little pothole, but they've been getting better every day, and honestly, it's been kind of exciting to see, and I think Tech's in good hands in the back end coming in the future. So,
Is there anything else for KJ?